Special thanks to Patreon supporter Martino14 for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Security here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare Path to Build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building HNLMS Rotterdam. HNLMS Rotterdam is a landing platform dock, or an LPD amphibious warfare ship of the Royal Netherlands Navy. The ship is named after the Dutch city of Rotterdam. She was the result of a joint project between the Netherlands and Spain, which resulted in the Enforcer design. The ship is equipped with a large helicopter deck for helicopter operations and a dock for large landing aircraft. The ship has a complete Echelon 2 hospital, including an operating theater and intensive care facilities. A surgical team can be stationed on board. The ship also has a desalination system enabling it to convert seawater into drinking water. So yeah, the HNLMS Rotterdam, a super cool and kind of weird looking ship. It's deceptively tall for being what it is, and like how it seems very top heavy to say the very least. When we look at pictures and stuff like that, seeing the draft of it, and then you see the portion that's above water, it seems very much so like an unstable ship, but surprisingly I guess it does alright for itself. But it's a pretty cool ship, again designed as an amphibious warfare ship, and designed to basically allow landings via helicopter and also landing craft. So overall pretty cool looking ship, and very nice one to add to our fleets. This is a Netherlands ship, so this is our second ever Netherlands ship built after the frigate that we just did last month. So definitely feel free to check those both out, and you can actually build yourself a small little Netherlands navy, which is kind of cool. But yeah, pretty interesting ship. Before we go and take a look at it, I do want to go and give a special thanks to Patreon supporter Martino14 for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more than you guys already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, and review a core request you're choosing. Really helps support the work I do on my channel, and it's obviously greatly appreciated. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, with that, let's go ahead and kind of dive in here to taking a look at the ship. Now the ship here is kind of uniquely in a kind of two-tone color, so it's got a darker gray kind of hull, and then like the superstructure section is actually a lighter gray. So that's why you have the two multicolor designs here, and actually I think it works really good for the ship. I think it does look pretty nice and unique. But anyway, starting off on the front here, this doesn't have any really main offensive armaments from what I've been able to see. It's mostly defensive, but the bow here we have the basic design here, so just your anchor systems and all that stuff located on the front. And then work our way back, we have our phalanx system, so our CWIS located here for missile defense and all that stuff. We have our conning tower here, bridge, all that located in this section here. Two masts which support all of its radar and basically all that systems located up here. We have our two basically funnels, which are located on both sides here for the exhaust of the ship. Lots of little kind of openings here on the side, life rafts, stuff like that. There is cranes mounted on the sides here for two types of basically boats. So you have a boat that can be deployed here, and also one over here. So usually probably small inflatable type boats for simple back and forth operations or something like that. We do have another CWIS system on the back of the ship here. The hangar doors here, which are located right there for basically the helicopter hangar and all that stuff. And then we have the landing pads here for the helicopters. And also in the back here, we do have two kind of green boats that typically are mounted to the side here on the ship as well. And then right back here is where the kind of the wet dock, I believe, I can't remember the exact term for it, but basically the area here where they could pull hovercrafts and landing ships actually out from the ship. So overall, really nice design for it. I think it came out really good, and it's going to make an awesome addition to your BAFTA build fleets, and especially with our other Netherlands ship here, the Zeven Provinciën class frigate. So you definitely got a cool little fleet you can have going with the Netherlands Navy. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our first layer and be going ahead and start with layer 1. A few things to mention if you're completely new to my bathtub build tutorials. The way I like to structure these tutorials is for the first good section of layers, I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is we'll be building the entire centerline of the whole of the ship, and then we'll be going ahead and then duplicating that, or basically building the right side, and then it'll be up to you guys between layers to duplicate the right side over to the left side. For the most part, the whole is pretty much completely symmetrical besides one minor little thing, and we'll talk about when we get to that point. However, it's pretty straightforward, just kind of cuts down tutorial time, and is pretty simple, and this is only going to be for about the first 4 layers, where the whole is going to be pretty much exactly the same all the way across. And then once we get into the more complicated stuff like the superstructure and all that, then we'll start kind of actually doing it all together to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. One thing also is if you are planning on building this in the water, which I imagine a lot of you guys will, you do want to make sure you position this correctly. Now this layer 1 here, is going to be level with the water level. So you can see here we have our blue concrete blocks here representing the level our water will be sitting at. This is where you want this layer. So it's basically directly level with the water. Once you have that all set up and good to go, we can go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is place down a brick wall. After that brick wall, we're going to place down a row of red concrete back. This row is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27 red concrete blocks back. I'm going to go and just double check my count real quick because it's very easy to, miss a block or whatever, and I want to make sure this is correct because it's very important, and it is 27 blocks in total. We're going to then place down 2 brick top slabs on the back here, and then 2 of these acacia wood trapdoors. After we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and move on to our next row. So going to the side here, we're going to go and go to the second red concrete block from the front. We're going to place down 2 red stained glass panes back, 2 brick walls, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 red concrete blocks back, followed by a brick top slab, a acacia wood fence gate, a end rod, and then a birchwood slab, like that going back. Followed by a brick wall, and then a acacia wood trapdoor there coming off the brick wall. After that, going ahead and going back up to the front here, we're going to go to the third red concrete block. We're going to place down 2 brick top slabs here, 2 brick ups down stairs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red concrete blocks back, 2 brick ups downstairs, and then 2 brick top slabs, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 acacia wood trapdoors going back like that along the side there. And once you have that all done, you're going to take what we do over here on the right side, flip it over to the left side, and this should be the base here you have for layer number 1. Pretty simple stuff. That's it for layer 1. Let's move on to layer number 2. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a polished black stone upside down on top of this red concrete block here in the front. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 gray concrete blocks going back from that upside down stair. That right there is going to do it for our front center line, and then going ahead and moving to the rear here, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished basalt block on top of this acacia wood trapdoor with a stone button coming off the side of it, and then a red concrete block going back from the block forward like that. So just like that there, and that right there is going to do it, our complete our center line. Moving up to the front here, we're going to start working our way out to the sides. We're going to place down a gray stained glass pane coming off the first gray concrete block here, a polished black stone wall back from that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 gray concrete blocks back. You can then go to the side here, we're going to place down 1 and 2 gray stained glass panes here, followed by 2 polished black stone walls, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Gray concrete blocks back. I'm going to go and double check my count here, and it is 22 blocks in total. We're going to go then place down 2 polished black stone upside down stairs back, and then a polished black stone upside down corner stair coming off that last stair. On the inside here, going ahead and go into this acacia wood trapdoor here, we're going to place down a polished basalt block right here, stone button on the side here, and then we're going to go and go 1, 2, and 3, and 4 red concrete blocks forward from the polished basalt block. After that's all complete there, that is going to basically wrap up what we have there for layer 2. Optionally, you can go ahead and choose to fill the inside in here with gray concrete. It's not completely necessary, but it is something you can do. And one thing I do want to mention also, and this is going to be a difference that's going to be on the right side and the right side only, is we're going to go and replace this gray concrete block here near the front with a polished black stone stair instead. So just a simple little change, and other than that, it's going to be the same there on both sides of it. So you can see, looking at it from above here, this is what it should look like. And again, you can choose to fill the inside with gray concrete if you choose to. Not completely necessary, but at the bare minimum, you will need to have this outline, at least for this portion of the build. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 2. Or layer number 3, my bad. Alright guys, going ahead and move into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with, we're going to place down a gray concrete block on top of this polished black stone stair in the front bow of the ship. We're going to go then place down an upside down polished black stone stair coming off the block like that. After that, going ahead and going back from this gray concrete block, we're going to place down 1 and 2 more blocks back, so you have a row of 3 in total, just like that going back. After that's done, going ahead and go into the rear of the ship. For our center line, we're just going to place down a polished basalt block on top of this one on the back here with a stone button on the side like we did before. After that, going ahead and go into the sides and going back up to the front, we're going to place down a gray stained glass pane to the side here, followed by a polished black stone wall back, and then a diorite wall. After that, we're going to place down 2 snow blocks after the diorite wall. We then want to grab a white stained glass pane. We're going to place it down to the side of this snow block. And then going ahead and going back from the snow blocks, we're going to place down 2 gray concrete blocks. Going back from the white stained glass pane, we're going to place down a gray stained glass piece, and then a polished black stone wall like that. We then want to place down another gray concrete block. Over here on the right side, and the right side only, we're going to place down a gray stained glass pane, and then behind this, you're going to want to have a gray concrete block. However, over here on the left side, it's just going to be a gray concrete block right here. After this pane, or the concrete block, we're just going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 gray concrete blocks back all the way to the rear. And we're just going to go ahead and place down a polished basalt block right here on the ones to the sides and stone buttons like so. After that though, we then are done with this layer. Actually, I thought there was something more, but that's actually it. All we have. Actually, one thing I did forget is the anchor here, and to do this, we're just going to go to the side of this polished black stone wall, place an item frame, and then a crossbow rotated facing downwards in the item frame like that. Anyways, that right there is going to complete what we have there for layer number 3 for the build. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to layer number 4. Alright guys, so moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a gray concrete block on top of the stair here in the front, followed by a polished black stone stair coming off it like that to complete the front bow of our ship there. We're going to go ahead and go back from this gray concrete block, a total of 18 gray concrete blocks back, so back from the stair it should be a total of 19 gray concrete blocks in total. We then want to place down a row of gray wool, that's going to be a total of 12 blocks in total, and then a polished basalt block here on the very end with a stone button on the side of it. After that's done, we then want to go ahead and go to our sides here. We're going to place down a wither skeleton skull coming off the side of this stair here, a gray stained glass pane, and then a polished black stone wall after the gray stained glass pane. We're going to go then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gray concrete blocks back, followed by 1, 2, and 3 black concrete, gray concrete, black concrete, and then 1, 2 gray concrete, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 gray wool back, a polished basalt block on the end here, just like that. Next row to the side here, we're going to place down a gray stained glass pane coming off the side of the third block here, followed by a second block back, or second pane back, and then a polished black stone wall. We're going to then follow this up by placing down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 gray concrete blocks back, followed by a row of 1, 2, and 3 polished black stone top slabs. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some item frames and also some white beds and some dark oak wood signs. On the sides here of these 3 slabs, we're going to place down item frames with white beds rotated on their side like that. And if you were on Java Edition, we're going to go ahead and also place down dark oak wood signs on the sides of those slabs as well. We're going to then place down a gray concrete block here with a polished black stone wall coming off it to the side. And we then want to place down another polished black stone top slab right here with this black concrete block. We're going to then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, and 4 gray concrete blocks along the side here. And on the middle 2 blocks of that row of 4, we're going to place down 2 polished black stone buttons to both ends. We then want to go ahead and place down a row of 1, 2, and 3 polished black stone top slabs across. Same thing we did for the front here. We're going to place down 3 item frames, white beds in those item frames, rotated like this, and then dark oak wood signs over the sides of the slabs as well, if possible. We're going to place down another polished black, or a gray concrete block, and another polished black stone wall. We then want to build a row of 1, 2, and 3 gray concrete blocks across here. We're going to go then place down a polished black stone upside down stair, a polished black stone top slab, a polished black stone upside down stair, and we then want to go ahead and finish this off by placing down a second upside down polished black stone stair, like that, going back. And then at this point here, we then want to go ahead and just take our slabs here. We're just going to place down 1 and 2 polished black stone slabs, and then dark oak signs wrapped around the sides of the slabs. So just like this, wrapped all the way around. And after that's all done there, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for layer 4. And that right there will pretty much complete it. So that's going to be our last layer, doing it pretty much half on, half off. And from here on out, we're going to be building each layer all together. So with that, let's go ahead and move into layer number 5. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate on top of the stair. And we're going to have it open up toward the front. Or actually, sorry, open up toward the back here. We're going to then place down a wither skeleton skull coming off the fence gate here, and then out to the sides here, both sides of the fence gate like so. Then on top of the fence gate, we're going to place down a end rod. After that, we're going to then place down 2 iron trapdoors to both sides here, and on the sides of those iron trapdoors, we're going to place down dark oak wood signs. So just like that. After that's done, in the center here, we're going to place down a redstone repeater with the notches spread apart, and then a stone button there in the center as well. Going back from the iron trapdoors, we're going to place down a chain on both sides, and then we're going to go and place down a skeleton skull like that after the chains. We then want to place down a redstone repeater like this with the notches spread apart like that between the 2 skulls. And then to the sides here of the chains and the skeleton skulls, we're going to place down 2 wither skeleton skulls like that for the front of the ship there. After that's all done, we want to go and then grab a stone block and also stone top slabs. We're going to place down a stone block here after the repeater, and then a stone upside down stair actually to both sides of that stone block. After that's done, we're going to place down a redstone comparator like so, and then we're going to then place down 2 end rods going up on the right side and the right side only. From this point here, we're going to go and then place down a stone block going back from the redstone comparator. We're going to then grab ourselves andesite walls, place down an andesite wall to both sides, and then follow that up by a light gray stained glass pane to both sides. We then want to take our stone blocks, and we're going to place down a row of 5 of stone blocks across. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 stone blocks along the side here. And same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, once we get to this point, we're going to go and grab stone brick walls and diorite walls. We're going to place down a stone brick wall to both sides here and a diorite wall directly there in the center. We can go and then fill the inside in with stone, though it's not completely necessary to do it, but we'll go ahead and just kind of fill it in anyway, as I do like to make my builds a little bit more solid by just completely closing in the empty spaces inside them. So just like that, and we'll have that filled in. Now once we get to this point here, we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves some iron frames and light gray beds. We're going to place down iron frames on these 2 stone blocks here with light gray beds in those iron frames like so. And we're also going to be placing down an end rod over here to the right side in front of that stone brick wall. At this point here, we're going to go and start moving into our deck markings. So for this, we're going to need some acacia wood buttons, some birch wood buttons, some gray carpet, and some white carpet. And we'll go ahead and start working on our deck markings. So for this, we're going to place down a gray carpet right here in front of these 2 item frames. We then want to take our acacia wood buttons. We're going to place down a row of 5 across. We then want to place down a row of 4 birchwood buttons across, and then a acacia wood button on the side there. We're going to then place down 2 acacia wood buttons, a white carpet, birchwood button, and then an acacia wood button. So actually, sorry, 2 birchwood buttons, white carpet, birchwood button, and acacia wood button. After that, we're going to go ahead and then take our acacia wood buttons, and we're going to go ahead and run a row of 4 more down the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to grab some green beds here, and for these boats on the back here, we're going to place down 2 green beds in that section like so. After we have that done though, we're going to go then take our birchwood buttons going back from the snow block, or the white carpet there. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And actually, sorry, 5 birchwood buttons back. The 5th one here, we're going to go ahead and go 2 birchwood buttons out to the left side and 1 to the right side. We then want to place down a white carpet here, birchwood button to the right side, and then 2 to the left side. And then once we get to this point here, we're just going to place down a birchwood button here, and then 1 out to both sides, like so. After that, we're going to take our gray carpet, we're going to place down 2 on top of these 2 upside down stairs, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 along the side there, of that row. We then want to go ahead and grab a dark oak wood fence gate and a end rod. We're going to place down a fence gate here on the top of this polished basalt block. Open the fence gate toward the rear here, and then coming off the fence gate, going up at an angle, we're going to place down the end rod like that for the rear little flag mast. And after that, we're just going to place down a gray carpet on top of those 2 polished basalt blocks just like that. And with that all complete there, that is going to wrap up what we have for layer number 5 for the build. This is what it should look like from up above here. And as you can see, we start to see a little bit of the ship coming together. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 6. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a stone brick stair on top of this stone block here. We're going to place down a dark oak wood sign to both sides of the stone brick stair, and after that we want to go and then place down a end rod coming off, a chain coming off the front of the stair, and then we're going to place down a skeleton skull on top of that stone brick stair. From this point here, we're going to go and then place down a redstone repeater on top of this stone block here, and then a skeleton skull on top of those 2 blocks like that to the sides. We then want to go ahead and take our stone blocks. We're going to place down a row of 3 across, followed by an andesite wall to both sides. And then going back from the andesite walls, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 andesite walls back like that. And same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like that back. We then want to fill the inside in here with stone. So filling in all the spaces between those walls there. After we get to this point on the right side here, we're going to place down a white bed, an anvil, and coming off the anvil, we're going to place down the iron trapdoor back, and we're going to take our dark oak wood signs and wrap them around the sides here of the iron trapdoor, like so. And then on top of this end rod, we're going to place down 1 more end rod that goes up like so. The center here, we're going to take our stone blocks, we're going to place down 2 rows of 3, filling in the center. We then want to place down a stone brick stair on top of the 2 stone brick walls, and then a smooth quartz stair there on top of the diorite wall. To the left side here for the crane, very simply, we're going to go ahead and place down a anvil right here to the side as well. And this time, however, we're going to be placing down a black bed like that. And once we have that all done there, that's going to do it there for layer number 6 for the build. Here's what it should look like from up above. And with that, we'll go and move into our next layer, layer number 7. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 7. For layer 7, we're going to start off by placing down a row of 3 of stone blocks across here, followed by a row of 3 of polished black stone buttons. We then want to go ahead and take our light gray stainless panes, and along the side here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Light gray stainless panes, same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 along the side there. We're going to then fill the spaces in between those glass panes with stone full blocks. So just like that, filling that in completely. Then when we get to this back section here, we're going to place down 2 more rows of 3 of stone blocks, and actually the middle one right here is going to be a snow block like so, with a polished black stone button coming off the side of it. We then want to go ahead and place down a stone brick stair, followed by 2 stone brick slabs over here on the right side, so on top of the anvil, and then 2 stone brick slabs forward. Over on the other side here, we're going to be going ahead and placing down a skeleton skull on top of this anvil, and we then want to go ahead and place down 2 end rods forward. So 1, 2, like that. After that's done, we're also going to place down a stone brick upside down stair in this spot right here. We're going to go and grab item frames, and around the stair, we're going to place down 2 item frames like so. And in those item frames, we're going to place down black beds, which we're going to rotate to face this direction. Same thing over here on this side. And we can also grab a dark oak wood sign and place a dark oak wood sign on the face there of the stair as well if you're on Java. And lastly, we're just going to go ahead and grab a tripwire hook and place a tripwire hook here coming off that stone block. And with that all done, that is going to do it there for layer number 7 for the build. And with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 8. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 8. For layer 8, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of stone brick tops, or full blocks, across the front here. We're going to place down a skeleton skull coming off the middle block, and then an item frame to both sides, with a black bed in those item frames rotated around so the pillars are facing toward the inside. And we're also going to go ahead and grab a dark oak wood sign and place a dark oak wood sign on the sides of these 2 stone brick blocks if you're on Java. We then want to place down an iron trapdoor coming off those 2 blocks to the side here. Dark oak wood signs around the iron trapdoors like so. And then after that, we want to go ahead and place down a stone block here in the center. We're going to then follow this up and place down an andesite wall to both sides. And we're going to go ahead and repeat the same thing back one more time. and again a andesite wall to both sides. We then want to place down another iron trapdoor here, come off this andesite wall, and we're going to then grab ourselves a dark oak wood fence gate. We're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate here and open it up toward the outsides on both sides like so, and a dark oak wood sign coming off the side of the fence gate like that. After that's done, we want to go and then place down an additional 2 stone blocks with our 2 andesite walls here going down the sides. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some end rods. We're going to place down a end rod like this on both sides, and we'll just go ahead and kind of complete it since it's just an antenna. We're just going to place down an end rod going up on both sides there, and then a iron bar on top there. After that, we're going to then place down an iron trapdoor on top of this glass pane there like that. Once we get to this section here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks down the center, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 walls, 1, 2, 3, 4 walls, and then we're going to place down a row of 4 of stone full blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over here, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the sides of the middle 2 blocks, we're going to place down item frames and iron bars in those item frames. Same thing over here as well. So it's just like this. After that, we want to go and then take our stone blocks. We're going to go back 1, 2, and 3 stone blocks down the center here, and then our andesite walls going back along the sides. We then want to take our dark oak wood signs, and we're going to place down dark oak wood signs along the sides here of the andesite walls, and wrap it around the walls just like so. And with that all complete there, we're also going to place down a tripwire hook coming off the middle stone block just like that. And once we have that all complete there, that is going to wrap up when we have for layer number 8 for the build. And with that, we'll go ahead and move into our final layers here, which will probably consist of layers 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, and 15. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our last final layers, layers 9 through 15. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our final layers, we have layers 9 through 15. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a redstone comparative that's going to be on top of this stone brick block here, and then a light gray carpet coming off it to the side. We then want to place down a dark oak fence gate coming off the middle, or on top of the middle block, and open up toward the rear. And then over here to the side, we're going to place down an iron trap door, and then another light gray carpet there to the side. Once we have that all finished there, we're going to go ahead and go up from the dark oak wood fence gate here, 2 end rods, and then we're going to place down a skeleton skull on top of the end rods. So just like that there on the top. After that, we want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood fence gate on top of these 2 walls here, and we're going to go ahead and open those up toward each other. And then on top of those fence gates there, we're going to place down a snow block on both sides. We then want to place down a stone block here on top of this stone full block here, and we're going to then place down a second stone full block going up. After that, we then want to go ahead and place down 2 andesite walls that go up. On this second andesite wall, we're going to place down a dark oak fence gate to both sides, a end rod coming off those fence gates, and we then want to go and place down a fence gate coming off the front and back of this wall. On top of those fence gates, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor to both sides, followed by a polished black stone wall on top of the andesite wall there, and we're going to go and then just place down a row of 3 of iron bars across the top there of that wall, like that for the radar system on top. After we get to this point, we're going to place down a stone slab, which is going to be directly behind this stone full block here. And then to the sides here, we'll be going ahead and placing down 2 skeleton skulls on top of these 2 andesite walls. So just like that on both sides there for the mast. We then want to grab polished black stone walls. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 on top of these 4 stone full blocks on both sides here. And on top of the second one from front, we're going to place down a skeleton skull like that. We then also want to go and grab end rods. We're going to place down an end rod on top of these 2 polished black stone walls here in the front, and we're going to go and just go up with 3 iron bars up from those end rods like that. After that's done, we want to go and then go to the center here. We're going to count 2 blocks back from that slab. We're going to place down a redstone comparator and a redstone repeater, which will be organized like this, and then the redstone repeater will be facing this direction here with the notches spread apart like that on the top there. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and just place down a stone full block right here, so skip a space, place down a stone full block, a second block up, followed by 2 andesite walls. Same thing we did for the front up here, so a dark oak wood fence gate coming up both sides here, followed by an end rod like that, fence gate coming off both sides here. And we then want to place down an end rod on top of this fence gate here. On top of this end rod, we're going to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull. We're going to go ahead and then grab a snow block again, place down a snow block on top of this andesite wall here. And on the very back here, we're going to place down 2 end rods up with a skeleton skull on top of that last end rod like that for the rear mass. And then once we get to this point here, we're going to go ahead and grab a stone brick stair, some dark oak wood signs, skeleton skull, and a chain. For this, we're going to place down a stone brick stair here, dark oak wood sign on both sides of the stair here, and then a chain with a skeleton skull on top of the stone brick stair. And once we have that all complete there, that is going to basically wrap up what we have here for my design for the HNLMS Rotterdam. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this build and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask you guys give me proper credit for the build. This can be anything from a link to my channel or this video if there's any social media sites. Just be sure I get proper credit for the build. That's all I ask for when doing these tutorials. It helps my channel grow and expands my audience and keeps me inspired to keep on posting these types of videos. So as long as you guys give me credit for it, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. And that, guys, again, a big special thanks to Patreon supporter Martino14 for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is in my video descriptions. With that, though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gary204, and I'll see you guys next time.